You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe. Today we have Katie Austin in the studio, who I just met over the weekend for Sports Illustrated. She is a model. She owns her own app. She's an entrepreneur. She's a recipe developer. She's a D1 lacrosse friggin' athlete. She does it all. Her mom is like an icon in the fitness industry too, like did the VHS workout videos, traveled everywhere. She's not just her abs. She is smart. She is driven. She is motivated. She literally can do it all. And we were like this as soon as we met. So enjoy my conversation with Katie. They're like, we'd love to have her host a thing at the Sports Illustrated weekend. And I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went and it was all very last minute. And there was something, you know, when you feel like you're meant to be somewhere?
Yeah.
That's how I was feeling that whole weekend.
I mean, I fell in love with you, number one. I think everyone did.
Really?
Everyone loves you. No, you just like fit right in. You know what I mean? Like you really just, you got along with everybody. I mean, obviously, you got along with like everybody. You're so good at bringing out personalities from all of us. And I feel like, you know, there were so many different panels that like every single day.
Yes.
So basically, for those of you guys, you know, that weren't there, we did like this SI social club.
Yeah.
And Kaitlyn hosted all the panels. How many did you do a day? Like 8?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was like 4 a day, but over 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's really hard to be thrown into. And I just love you.
Oh my God. I love you so much. I felt that way about all the women. I couldn't believe how kind and welcoming everybody was. And I'm telling you, I was walking through the airport. I went to the bathroom and I have this thing that I do where I ask for signs from the universe that I'm like supposed to be somewhere. And I always ask for blinking lights and like obvious blinking lights. And I walked into the bathroom being so grateful this morning that morning that I left, when I saw you at the airport, I walked into the bathroom and the light was just blinking over my head.
Stop.
And I was like, because I almost didn't go because it was so last minute. And I was like, I'm tired. And like, but I felt something like I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And it just, the empowerment amongst all the women, everyone was so kind. It felt like such a family. Like the Sports Illustrated family is so special.
It really is. And I'm happy that like you experienced that, because I feel like I can go on and say it. Like if I was just, you know, a guest on your podcast right now, oh, it's a family. It's like embracing it and sisterhood and supporting women. And it's so fun. But like you actually experienced it and you understand what it's like, even just getting to know someone in one day or even an hour. Like you were just in it and it was so much fun. And I'm so happy you experienced it because it's so amazing. And it is like a family. It really is.
The special, like everybody is rooting for each other kind of thing. And it was good for my mental health because I always grew up being like, I need to be a model. And like, if I'm not a model, I'm not. And I like have always had this like body dysmorphia. And then to see Sports Illustrated celebrates like every size, shape, and color. And it's just, it was so cool. I feel like I literally came out of it and my girlfriend Bailey was like, you like that was something important for you. Like I walked away with a lot from it. Yeah, it was really cool.
Honestly, that means a lot for me too, because we're so special that weekend and we loved having you, and it really is like that. And it's not just like the cliche like empowerment, sisterhood.
No.
Like it's real.
No, it is real.
It's real.
That's I even feel the way that you're saying, talking about it, like it's so empowering, but I don't know how to express it any other way.
Because they're the words that everyone just uses: empowerment, authentic, the buzzwords, exactly. But it's how I feel. And when I first entered Sports Illustrated, I feel like I've worked alone my entire life. Not necessarily alone. I've worked with my mom and some other creators. And
I didn't realize your mom was such a legend either, by the way. But we'll talk about that. Yeah.
And I worked in sports. I was a sports host for a while, so I had coworkers, of course. But for the last 5 years, leading up to Sports Illustrated especially, I've felt very alone in what I do.
Yeah.
And to have this whole other part of my career that is not really tied to my influencer life and my fitness and my recipes, just such a different way of my career. It feels so fun to have these girls who support me. I mean, I'm texting with Camille and Nicole literally this morning.
Aren't they
it's so fun to have these like I don't want to say coworkers because they're not, but they're friends in this, group.
In the industry.
That feel like they actually care.
Well, and those women specifically, they've been doing it and they're the OGs, but they're so wise and they take you under their wing.
Yeah.
And they just have like real conversations and they're real people with real insecurities too.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, I just loved it. I just loved it. I was like, you guys are not getting rid of me, even if I have to host anything for the rest of my life.
I want you to come back. Do it every year.
I want to come to Miami with you guys so bad and just continue to be Judy's. Like, I'm just going to be that girl that's taking you along.
I love it.
Okay, so you won the Sports Illustrated Swim Model Search.
I did.
Which is freaking awesome and wild. And now you're on pages of Sports Illustrated. And you've been named Co-Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, with my best friend. So, going back to SI and what we talked about, I always really wanted to be in it because of how amazing all the girls were and looking up. And honestly, I was an athlete my entire life. I played lacrosse in college.
You did D1.
I sure did.
Yeah, that's badass.
That's my fun fact to the panel.
Yeah, exactly. I listen.
Yeah. And so I always wanted to be a part of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Obviously hot girls, but at the same time, it's the community. It's the culture about it. It's, representation. And when I first auditioned in 2017, I didn't get it, obviously.
Yeah,
I kept trying out.
Which I heard from a lot of women this weekend is that a lot of people have been turned down and you keep trying and you keep going. And that was you.
You are not going to all the time be noticed the first time.
Right.
When I tried out and I won, there was 22,000 girls auditioning. I know. And then the top 15, and then I won with my best friend. And so it's like, you have to keep trying to kind of get their attention.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but it is a competition.
Yeah.
So you have to keep trying. And, I did it since 2017.
Yeah.
God bless. And finally got it in 2020. And, it's honestly changed my life. Not only because it changed my life, what I'm saying, like in my career, of course it's helped, but really introduced me to, you amazing women and just like, again, like I said, to go back to like being a part of this community, it's something greater than what I'm doing and just posting on social media.
Yeah.
It feels really good that I accomplished it because I tried out for so many years too.
Well, it's like being an actor, being a dancer, doing whatever, like the no's, the rejection, it builds character and it makes you be like, it doesn't mean no forever. It means this is not the right timing for you right now. And I bet you're happy you got the yes when you got the yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, if I got the yes in 2017, 2018, 2019, no. Thank goodness I did not get that yes because I wouldn't be ready. I wouldn't really even know what I stand for or why I'm doing it or know the brand message and honestly have a lot of confidence. When I got it, I was, 26, 27 when I got it. If I got it when I was 22, 23, when I first auditioned, I don't know who I was. I was so lost in my life. And so I got it at the perfect time. And so looking back, thank goodness I got it, the yes, and the no's happened.
It is one of my favorite thoughts is that what is made for you won't miss you. Like, I really, truly, strongly believe that with every bone in my body because same thing, I thought I was going to be a dancer and I just wasn't meant to because I was meant to do something bigger, which is go on this show and then have this podcast, which means everything to me and the people I get to meet through this. And it's just same thing if I went on The Bachelor, when I was like 25, which most girls do. I went on when I was 30.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. So again, thank goodness. Because at 25,
God.
you wouldn't know what things I would have said or done.
I was such a loser when I was 25.
I was just different. I was a different person.
I just didn't know. I didn't know any better. I didn't really have any life lessons under my belt. Like I just didn't know who I was. And I just kind of was like floating through life being selfish.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think that's just such an interesting, that you got picked at the right time. And then when you found out you won, where were you? What were you doing?
Oh my gosh. I had the craziest reaction of all time. The Sports Illustrated team still to this day is like, yeah, we've never heard a reaction like that. And I was like, oh, I'm insane. Certified insane.
No, that's good.
I actually have the craziest story about when I won. It's funny you ask this because I feel like you don't even know, Kaitlyn.
I don't know. I really don't.
So basically, my husband at the time, who was my boyfriend, we lived together.
Yeah.
And I was about to take him to the airport because he was going to a wedding that I wasn't invited to. And I was so pissed. I was like, we lived together and I'm not invited to this wedding. Yeah. Anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah. Again, everything happens for a reason. Yep. So just listen to this. Yep. I'm about to get in the car, take him to the airport. All of a sudden, I get this call from like one of the team members of SI. And it was kind of like odd that they were calling me because I totally didn't think I won. I thought there was going to be a rejection call. Yeah. And so like all of a sudden, I just like shaking and I was like, hello? And they were like, Katie, you are a 2021, whatever it was, swim search winner. And I cussed them out. Shut
up, you liar.
I kept saying, no way, shit. Oh no, shit. And they're like, okay, calm down. I was like, for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, they were like, I've never heard the reaction of just cussing for 5 minutes. I just couldn't believe it. I was in full shock. Took my husband to the airport. And on my way back from the airport, I called my co-winner, Kristen Goff, now Kristen Harper at the time, who's my best friend of life, and we won together. It was crazy.
How cool.
It's still to this day, when I think about it, it's like something we're going to tell our children, that we won this together, and she's my best friend, and we just live so close together, and she's coming over for dinner. And so just having that together, that experience. So I called her, and we go out to dinner, and we're like, okay, how do we celebrate? We can't tell anybody we won. Right?
Oh, why?
They want us to keep it a secret for like another week. And so we can't tell anybody, just us two know. And we decided to send it to Vegas on a secret trip.
Yes.
And it was the first time ever I flew on a private jet.
Yes.
And we go to Vegas for the day, just to celebrate. We literally partied in Vegas, took a private jet home, and it was the best day of my life. Thank God I wasn't invited to that wedding.
Yeah.
And we were like, social media these days is so amazing because you could share your life, but it was such a fun weekend to share such happiness and secretively with your best friend. And it was just so cool and fun. I've like never really even shared.
Wait, so were you always trying to like do it together?
No. So we knew of each other beforehand, and so the whole year process was honestly really long. I auditioned in
what does it look like?
August. I auditioned. I first actually filmed my video in July, submitted it in early August. Didn't hear back until that I got top 15 until March. Then we didn't shoot until May. I didn't hear that I won until September.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So 13 months after I first auditioned or did the tape of that year, I found out I won. So throughout the 13 months, you get really close to the other girls.
For sure.
And me and Kristen knew of each other beforehand. Her now husband, I was like friends with that whole friend group in my early 20s. And so I knew of her, always thought she was like the most gorgeous thing. Met her at the ESPYs, and she was just like the most angelic girl ever.
Yeah.
We knew of each other. Anyways, we got pretty close during that process. And then, when we won, we just got really, really close.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sending to Vegas to celebrate privately on a private jet. And then
which was my first time.
Oh my God.
And by the way, I walked in the private jet, and I was like, act like you've been here, Katie. Act like you've been here. Never on a private jet. I'm like, trying not to take photos, and you can't share any photos, obviously. And I'm like, trying not to take any photos. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. Oh my God.
That was the same thing. My first private jet experience was I was getting flown to talk on a panel about podcasting. And this was like when podcasting was like really becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I got on this private jet, and I just went all the way to the back, thinking, I don't know, I'll lay down or something. And he goes, oh, is this your first time? And I went, yeah. He goes, you're going to want to sit in the power seat. And I was like, what's the power seat? And he's like, it controls the temperature, the TVs, the blah, blah. He's like, if you're flying by yourself. I was by myself. And I was like, okay.
What?
Yeah.
You took a private jet by yourself?
By myself.
That is the coolest thing ever.
I was reading a book, sipping champagne in the power seat. And I was like, cool.
Yeah. So my issue with that is, they were like, champagne. It was like, early. I'm like, absolutely. I'm like hammered by the time we even landed Vegas. They handed me these like ham and cheese little sandwiches. I was like, I really could get used to this life.
I know. It's hard to go back after that.
It's so hard to go back.
It's a very easy life to get used to. I always think about Kylie Jenner, but then I'm like, but then everybody hates on her for having a private jet, and we're doing our best.
Yes, and we're doing a little bit more environmentally friendly by not running a private jet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people assume, oh, you're fit, you're gorgeous. Of course you got it. But it is nice for people to hear that, no, it took years and it took hard work. And I've been talking about this a lot lately with manifesting or wanting something so bad. It comes with so much passion, so much hard work, dedication. It's not just about thinking about it and getting it and being pretty enough to get it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you're an athlete.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're a freaking athlete.
Also, I never had an agent, and I just signed with an agent this year.
Oh, wow.
And I've been in the industry for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I feel like also, in modeling, usually an agent gets you in, or you're with a top dog that gets you in. I was always by myself because, in my opinion, no one will advocate for you as much as you do. Yeah. I had an idea the other day, and I sent it out to people on my team. And everyone's like, yeah, sounds good. And then I was like, you know what? F it. I'm sending this out myself. Made the pitch deck myself. I still do all that stuff myself because no one will ever believe in you as much as you do.
It's so true. And I feel like that shows the hustle and the grind and the passion too, that you're willing to put this, you're not just relying on somebody else to do it for you. You're like, no, look at me. I'm going to do this for myself.
Totally. And it's about building those relationships personally because there's so much talent in this world, right? Anyone could be an SI swimsuit and anyone could be an influencer and anyone could start a business. But like building those relationships and being a good, professional, kind person to work with, I think anyone could snip that out.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Not even SI, but the world if you're posting online, being a good person, being professional and showing up as you are is a really important aspect of it.
Yeah, which I think it's a rare skill, if you want to call it that, for somebody to just be authentic in this kind of world of social media.
And I feel like I weirdly, not to toot my own horn, it's actually like the opposite. I feel like sometimes
self-deprecating.
No, I feel like sometimes when I meet, just the other day, last week, I went on something and they're like, "Wow, you're so kind to work with. Thank you." And I was like, yeah, no shit. Like, are the people mean?
No, and
I'm confused.
Isn't that funny? No, it is, because I do feel like it's hard to come across. You can come across all the talent in the world, but to have kind people, I do feel like that's hard to come by, which is sad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And, my mom and dad have always said that, and they both have built empires in their own right. But my mom will always be so kind and nice to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the wait staff. It doesn't matter if you are, cleaning up after us or whatever it is. Like, my mom is the kindest soul, and that's just how I was raised. So I don't know any difference. And my dad is, high up in the NBA world, and he's always so nice to every single person. He even says, at his level right now, he is, a president of a company, and he will still go get coffee for his clients. Of course he will, because that's just...
Because it shouldn't determine how you're treated based on what you do.
Yeah.
You should just be treated like a kind human being because of who you are.
100%,
not what you do.
Right.
Yeah. I know it is confusing. I always just thought it was because I was Canadian, but
I do think it's how you are nicer.
Well, no, I do think it's how you're raised. Your parents obviously had important life lessons, and they've been in the business, and they know, the hard work and kindness that it takes to really succeed. I mean, you can succeed, but I think if you are being talked about as a kind, easy person to work with, that's I think the highest form of flattery.
Yeah. It's crazy how, other people aren't as...
I know. Oh, I've heard nightmare stories.
Same.
I've heard nightmare stories. This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. I always want to say that. Okay, listen, if you are anything like me, planning a trip means juggling a million preferences, because I want a cute vacation home with big natural light for the makeup, obviously, a spa tub for some serious unwinding, and somewhere close to good food because I love trying new restaurants. And somehow, Booking.com always delivers. Whether you're booking for yourself, for your girlfriends, or your family group chat that can't agree on anything, been there. Booking.com has stays that fit everyone's vibe. Now they've got hotels, they have vacation rentals, even spots that are pet friendly, which is always a feature I love on Booking.com, because I always put the filter on that looks for places that allow me to bring ramen and Pinot. Oh, I love traveling with them. So yeah, if I can find my perfect stay with all my non-negotiables, anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. So we were obviously just in New York for all of that fun. How do you prepare for that kind of weekend? Because to prepare for a shoot, what does it take to prepare for a shoot is what I want to know.
So
first.
I guess to prepare for a shoot,
are you lifting heavy weights?
I don't really, I don't do anything that different. I know it's annoying to hear. I do something, little tweaks.
Yeah.
But I'm a type of girl who works out 5 days a week and I eat pretty healthy.
Kind of your brand.
70% of the time. Yeah. Not even 80, 75% of the time.
Okay.
And so I don't really do anything that crazy different. Yeah. Also, SI accepts you as you are. It's not let's lose weight and tone up before.
That's what I loved about them.
Yeah. Right. It's just really about feeling your best self. And again, that sounds so cliche. And it's no, give me some real hard answers here. Yeah. But what I do is I eat the exact same. The one thing I do is I don't eat after 8 p.m. Just doesn't, sit well with my tummy. It helps me with digestion. And I get more energy in the morning, like work out and do the things that I love. If I don't eat after 8, I go on a 20-minute walk every single day. That's for great low impact cardio, but it's also like in addition to my workout, but it's also really good for my mental health. I'll put on a podcast or some music that I love. And, I try to get really good rest. Because usually for the shoots, you're on a red eye the night before. I was stuck in the Turkey airport my first year, and I had to sleep in the Turkish airport.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where I was the night before my shoot.
Oh
so
gosh.
You want to just make sure, even a launch weekend, you want to just make sure you're going into everything really well rested.
Yeah.
Because sleep to me is my mental health.
Oh, but I am right there with you.
We're both like talking and we're both like, eh.
No, I am so brain dead right now. I feel like I am so right there with you that rest is so important for mental clarity and to be your best self, feel good, feel confident.
Yeah.
You want to mentally be prepared just as much as physically.
Oh, absolutely. And I
If
think
not
that's what
more.
I think that's what it's all about, really, especially when you're shooting and you have so many cameras on you and, the whole team is almost looking at you. You want to feel confident.
Yeah.
And come on, let's be real. We're not going to really lose that much weight in 2 weeks or, when you get the call and you're not going to really totally change your body. That's not what it's about.
No.
It's wonderful to have goals.
Yes.
But at the same time, when I have Miami Swim Week coming up next week, it's really just getting rest before Miami.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to be exhausted after 11.
Gosh,
at the clubs.
what is the difference? New York, is it going to be the same as New York or crazier?
It's going to be crazier for
Really?
sure. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're going to hit 11 so hard.
I love 11.
I know, it's so fun.
I love it there.
I do too.
My husband's like, I've never been to 11. I'm like, good. We're going to keep it that way.
So I'm going, you're not. Absolutely. What was your favorite moment from this past weekend in New York? Because you hosted like some workouts in the daytime.
My favorite moment was actually bringing my mom.
Yeah. What a treat.
So after 5 years, it's been 5 years in the issue. I've never brought my mom.
Really?
And she's been just
so proud
dying
of you?
to come.
Yeah.
She's so proud of me. She actually walked Miami Swim Week with me in 2022.
What?
Yes. So she just still to
she's
this
like
day.
a fitness icon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, her name is Denise Austin, and she had VHS's, DVD. She had her own TV show for 24 years on ESPN and Lifetime.
That
so
is
she's
so
like
crazy.
a pioneer in the fitness
Yeah.
industry. And everyone thinks, by the way, that she was in SI swimsuit because I don't know. She just made me like comments so much on the SI channel.
Yeah.
She's like in the family already,
Yeah.
but she's never been to launch. And so my best friend Kristen is pregnant and she couldn't come. And my husband is like, okay, I've been to 4 years.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna sit
good.
this
I
one
have
out.
some work. And I'm like, who is my plus one for this weekend? Oh, mom, want to come? I like call her. She's like, yes, absolutely. Okay, what do I wear? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the fact that I've never really invited her. I know that sounds like kind of mean of me, but at the same time, I never even thought about it.
Well, yeah, because you're like, oh, I'll bring my husband or best friend. Yeah.
Right. I had my husband, my best friend there. It was kind of my own world. And I'm always a plus one in her life. I've always been a plus one in her life since I was born.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just had my own thing. And then it was so special. Her meeting like my photographer, my makeup artist, my hairstylist, and everyone on set. And they all just like fell in love with her, obviously.
Yeah, she is like a little Polly Pocket fun, like size,
She's an Energizer
amazing.
bunny.
Yeah,
She's insane, like actually insane.
Yeah.
And so having her just experience that, she got home, she was like, I'm so tired. I don't know how you do that. That was a lot. I was like, I know, but it's fun.
That's so cute. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was just adorable. I just loved meeting so many different personalities.
A lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like say I went to a bachelor event or an influencer event or something, I usually get very overwhelmed and like kind of shut down. But I felt like energized by everybody there.
It's a safe space.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable. I mean, Kaitlyn, I also feel like you have that energy yourself. You know what I mean? Like you are also a safe space for all of us, if that makes sense.
That's
so like it was very reciprocated. Like I told you things on Saturday night. I'm like, so Kaitlyn, let me tell you about my ex-boyfriend. Like you also have that safe space.
But I
so
love
it's not
that
just
because
us.
it takes, but it's like reciprocated. You know, it's I don't open up like that or let people open up like that unless I'm feeling comfortable myself.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's both ways.
Yeah.
It's mutual,
It's
baby.
mutual. Otherwise, you'd know. I'd be like, oh,
What time are we leaving?
I'm out of here. My favorite part was watching you twerk, I think.
I'm like
You
so
got
sore.
it.
I came home so sore.
Oh my gosh.
I showed videos of my husband. I was like, would you want to see these videos? He's like, actually, I turn it off. Turn it off. It's too much.
My favorite is, I want to see the video of me trying to, I like awkwardly was trying to twerk beside you in the like worst way possible. Like I was basically humping the table.
No, but then you came out with this sachet ballroom dance move, and I was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah.
Enough with my twerking. I want to see the classical moves.
Bachacatas or something like that. I was with Sasha from Dancing with the Stars the other night, and he was like, I was like, can we do the whisk trend of like ding, 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 you know that thing? That's
of course
like
I do.
And he was like, please, I am so whisked out. I'm like, just teach me how to do it.
Oh my gosh, you're so good.
I loved it so much. I love dancing.
Do you? Me too.
Oh, it's just so fun.
It's so good for your mental health.
I always tell this to people. I'm like, I don't care if you're a good dancer or bad dancer or whatever. If you're on the dance floor, you are so in the moment. You're present. You're having fun.
I agree.
Nobody's dancing having a bad time.
I literally just read a stat the other day that said like one of the top things you could ever do for your happiness is just break out into dance.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're sad, I know it sounds so cliche again. If you feel like you're sad, just literally blast your favorite music and start dancing.
Yeah.
It instantly, that's how I warm up actually for my workouts.
I have this intuitive coach, and she does Kundalini yoga with me sometimes, and we'll do different things every session, but she will just make me get up and dance sometimes to either start or finish the
best.
And I'm like, there's something when you're done, I'm like, I just feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel joy. And that's what dancing,
Joy.
I've always just felt joy with dance.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
the best. Well, I saw it in your butt.
Thanks, Kaitlyn.
When we talk about, the inspiration of all these women and Sports Illustrated, what do you hope younger girls take away from seeing you, particularly in SI?
Ooh, good question. Hard question. I feel like, going back to joy, I think just being happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm saying the lamest things, but
No.
I do feel like people can, I hope they can understand that I'm just so genuinely content and happy in my life that I think being happy is first and foremost before any career moment, anything else. It's just being happy with where you're at and loving yourself in a way that no one can kind of break that or change you, and knowing what you stand for.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone, if you're trying out for Sports Illustrated and you don't really know the why is really important, and to know the purpose of why you're trying out for Sports Illustrated or why you're doing anything, right?
Yeah, true.
Is really, really important to knowing that purpose.
Knowing the why for anything you do in life, I think that's a good message for anyone.
And it's hard to find that.
It is.
It is. And I feel really lucky that I know my why, because a lot of people, some of my friends, they don't know their why, and it's hard to find. It can take you your whole life. My why is I really want to truly help other girls and women feel their most confident self. And I know what it's like being so insecure.
Yeah.
Like when I was 12 to 22, I was not a confident girl. Like it took everything in me to be where I am at today. And it's not an overnight thing. It took years, and it still takes every single day of working on that. Mm-hmm. And I really want every single girl to love their life.
Yeah.
And I love my life, and I'm very grateful. I have so much gratitude, and I'm saying this as a point of high privilege to love my life, of what my life is. But at the same time, I think every single person can switch that perspective and switch their mindset to loving their life.
I know very successful people who could be models, who come from a great family, who are not happy,
Exactly. Yeah. And I think I feel so strongly about how we have one life, and so treat your body right, and why not make the most of it? And I think I get a little bit from my mom too, because everything she says can be toxic positivity at the same time. Obviously, if you have feelings and you're sad, please take care of the feelings, and you can be sad, let yourself feel.
Yes.
But at the same time, I want every single person in this world to wake up happy, because why not?
Yeah.
Right? Our time on earth is so limited.
Yeah.
And so why not enjoy every second of it and live it?
And it goes by so fast.
It does.
Is that kind of how you built your brand, the Katie Austin brand? Like, because you're not just a face, you are a whole business. And how did you build it? Like, what was the kind of moment you decided, I'm going to go do my own brand?
Yeah. So I feel like going back to joy and happiness, I do think a lot of that comes from movement and eating well and cooking. I find joy in cooking. And so
You have a lot of good recipes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also the why behind why I do the workouts and the recipes. But why I started it is I was, as you know, a college athlete. And when I actually quit after 2 years, and when I quit, I felt so lost. It was, after my sophomore year, I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't work out for a while, because my whole life I had a coach and I had a trainer telling me what to do. I had to be here at 5:30, and this is what XYZ, what we're doing. And I know my mom is a fitness expert and she does workout videos and is the queen of at-home workouts, but it didn't really hit me. And I remember after one of my first days when I was like, I'm going to start working out again, I ran for like 9 months. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym today. I was so lost and intimidated. I looked around and all these hot USC girls were wearing full face of makeup and doing exactly like what they're doing. They're like deadlift and they would know exactly what they're doing. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing to work out at all. And why am I working out?
Right.
That purpose behind working out, I was so lost because I was always training to be a starter. I was always training to have a better 300s time or better mile time or strength training test since I was in 6th grade. 6th grade, Kaitlyn, I've always had those tests.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, when I'm 21 years old, I'm like, okay, wait, why am I training?
And no one preps you for the in between, the transition, the what am I doing now?
And unlearning 4 hours a day of working out and working out for 30 minutes. And why I'm working out is for my mental health. And I'm not training I don't have goals.
Yeah.
What am I doing? So it took me years to how to learn to work out for my body and what I like and what makes me happy, right? What's going to energize me? My whole life was doing workouts to exhaust me and exhaust my body. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want to also feel like I have to consume 5,000 calories a day to fuel my 4-hour day workouts. I'm not an athlete anymore.
Yeah.
But how do I continue loving to work out? Anyways, I started hosting these little college classes. I joined a sorority and started hosting college campus classes and started making YouTube videos and posting them. And then it happened to be that my mom also did that her whole life.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
my first workout video was when I was 7 years old. So I'm acting like it was like this new thing, but it wasn't actually.
You were always meant to be doing these workout videos.
Yes.
It's in your DNA.
But it wasn't a career. You know what I mean? Like,
well, then, yeah.
I never thought of it as,
Well, it was.
this is...
It was.
It was, but I don't know. I never really thought of it because I always had to think of myself as I want to take this traditional route, right?
Yeah.
So after college, I got a job for this show called SoCal Prep Insider that aired on Fox Sports West. I was a sports host there for 2.5 years, just doing my little workout thing on the side.
Yeah.
Because in hosting in the sports world, you make no freaking money.
Yeah.
And so I had to have 2 jobs. So I was like, what am I doing? I still felt lost at like 25 years old. And then,
Oh God, 25 was like my most lost. Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
And you think you have it all together and you think you should have it together.
But really, you're a baby.
And by the way, you hear it a lot. Your 20s are just, you feel lost and your 30s are better. I'm 31 and I could never agree more. I am like, thank God I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Oh, I'm 39 and I'm like 30s are it. And
They're it.
only hear that it gets better.
Yes.
Till 60, then you start getting.
Oh, my mom's 68, baby. She's still strutting and doing all the things.
Yeah, my mom's 72 and she's a firecracker. And like, yeah, okay.
My mom and
forget
dad,
that.
and my dad is 72, and they have more fun than I do. They can party harder and have more fun.
How long have
they
your
travel
parents
the
been
world.
together?
42 years. And they travel the world. They're taking like a 6-week European trip. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It just gets better.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, well, mine divorced, so I don't have that example of love. No, I'm just kidding. But no, not. But I do think like that's a good mentality to have as well, is that it can get better. 20s, you are lost. Some people are not. You bless the people who figured it out in their 20s, but still people are lost in their 30s. This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Now, you know those people who seem to really have it all together? Budget spreadsheets, color-coded calendars, probably making homemade almond milk. Well, they've got nothing on you, because if you switched your car insurance to Progressive and saved hundreds, that makes you a financial genius in my book. Progressive gives you discounts for all things like paying in full, owning a home, and more, and their customer service always is there when you need it. So your money is working smarter and harder. Head to progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations. You have an app, which is so cool, and it has not workouts, but also, like I said earlier, tons of recipes, which I always love because I'm creative in certain ways. When it comes to food, I'm like, I go to other people for inspo. I'm like, that viral protein bowl with the cottage cheese
God,
and
so
the ground
good.
and the hot honey. I'll eat that. My mouth's
So
watering. I'm
good.
so hungry.
Oh my gosh.
But how do you come up with your recipes and do all
Yeah.
that?
So I started making recipes when I was really little because my mom traveled a lot for her TV show. So basically, what she had was a TV show. It was a traveling TV show of workouts in different hotels and in the Caribbean and everywhere.
cool.
So I'm acting like she was gone a lot. She was a very supportive mom and very, very involved mom.
Yes.
But my dad didn't know how to cook. So it would be my sister, my dad, and me. And I just started cooking when I was really little and just like throwing things together. And then in high school, I just started cooking for all my best friends. I was very known for just putting together the most random things
Really?
in a bowl.
That's
And I've
just
always loved cooking.
always been, yeah.
I started a little cooking show in college. It was called I think it was like College Cooking with Katie or something. I've tried a lot of things, let me tell you. I've tried a lot of things. And I pivoted a lot.
Yeah.
And so now I do recipes that really, I want to make sure that people can know that healthy eating doesn't need to be gross. It doesn't need to be plain. It can be very delicious, very tasty.
And
a huge satisfying, not sacrificing flavor. I'm a huge sauce girl. And so I love sauce.
Me too.
And so basically what I have loved the term healthifying. I healthify my favorite things. And that's how I really think about, all of my recipes. Last night, for example, I love spring rolls and I love cheeseburgers. So I combined the two and I made cheeseburger spring rolls.
Wait,
and that was my recipe
yum.
last night. And so I kind of just try to think about like because I'm a fast food girl. I
Yeah.
love unhealthy food, truly at heart.
Yeah.
I love chicken tenders. I love cheeseburgers. I love French fries. That's where my heart lies.
Yeah.
I'm not a type of girl that wakes up and is like, I want kale.
Kale and
No.
berries.
No.
All day.
I wish.
Every day.
I really do wish.
Yeah.
But what I try to do is add nutrients and just healthify the foods that we already love and kind of spin it into a healthy direction. So I'm a big believer in adding things and not subtracting. So it's say I want a pizza. What can we add to the pizza to have higher fiber or higher protein rather than, thinking about, okay, how can I make it less carbs?
Yeah.
So I always try to think about adding and not subtracting.
Nice. That's a good healthy mindset to have with food too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet your audience feels that as well.
Yeah. I could very confirm and say that I'm very grateful that I've always had an amazing relationship with food. And I think that does come from being an athlete because when you're an athlete,
Not afraid of eating.
You're not afraid of eating and you have to fuel yourself.
Yeah.
You think, like my whole brain has been wired to think that food is needed and good and I need an abundance of it to perform my best. So that's how I've always been trained.
Ballerina, not the same.
Yeah, no, truly though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I do think it's like so instilled in us when we're little, like, and what we were, in sports or dance or whatever it is. And so I think an athlete mentality to kind of own that mindset when it comes to food is important.
Yeah, that's cool. I like your spin on the recipes and making it like our favorite foods, but like you said, adding and not taking away.
So what's your favorite food?
Oh God, everything. My favorite food in the whole world is sushi, and then next to that is just like any kind of pasta.
Okay. I hate to tell you, but I don't eat sushi because I don't eat seafood. But it's not because I don't eat anything. I will eat avocado sushi. I actually make really good avocado, like crispy rice.
Yum.
But pasta, what I love to do is I just put in a shit ton of veggies into it. And I chop it up really, really fine. I grate my zucchini in like a bolognese sauce. I do carrots, onions, even mushrooms. If you're doing any sort of ground beef and you want to add nutrients to it, chop in some like diced mushrooms really fine, put it in the ground beef, and no one will even know. Also, it's very budget friendly.
Yeah.
So it'll like increase your meat if you're looking to adding.
Well,
meat.
and because I'm always just cooking for one over here. And so I'm like, I'll freeze stuff all the time. And then if I'm like, oh, I'll just take that out of the freezer and have that for dinner. Like I do feel it's just as long as I'm home. God, I'm not.
Yeah, it's hard.
Everybody knows.
And also meal prep.
Knows
If you're,
I love airplane food.
Are you being for real or sarcastic?
I can't wait to get on my plane tomorrow to have airplane food.
What's your favorite?
Well, first of all, Delta, shout out to Delta. They have Shake Shack burgers on their flight. Yeah.
Okay, I was on a Delta flight to launch.
Yeah.
I had John and Vinny's on Delta.
Yeah, they have the meatballs.
Insane.
I know.
Insane.
I was really torn between the John and Vinny's meatballs or the Shake Shack burger.
That actually is incredible. And I will say calories don't count on an airplane.
No, they do not.
They don't.
Or at an airport.
Or an airport.
Or a hotel. But that's where I always am.
Or your bed, or your own kitchen.
The weekend.
Obviously.
That's so funny. Okay, well, what is your honest take on how toxic fitness culture has become online? Because I do see a lot of different recipes or different certain things, and there are really good ones out there, but I think there's a lot of toxic information with fitness and
And
food.
skinny talk these days?
Yes.
What the hell, man?
Backwards.
Why are we
Why are we going
reverting back?
backwards? I hate it.
You know, and I don't want to, oh gosh, I don't know how to even put this correctly, but you know, in the 80s and 90s when my mom did her workout videos, and not just my mom, it's everybody. It's everyone in that era was how to lose weight fast and how to get rid of your cellulite and all these things. And it was all about the aesthetic and losing weight and you know, some of those diets that they had. It was 1 ounce of cottage cheese with black coffee, and that's it for the day.
Yes.
And it's crazy. And I do feel like we're kind of reverting a little bit back to that on social media. And it just hurts me because people don't realize how impactful that what they see on social media is, right? Like even the younger generation, and I thinking, you know, when I'm thinking about having kids and a daughter, it's like, oh my gosh, these things that they are seeing online can really, really be hurtful to their mental health and eating.
And misinformation.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I do feel like there is one side of me where it's like, thank goodness there are so many people talking these days on fitness and working out. And we love how many more people are moving these days. But at the same time, like, I really just hope that everyone knows, number one, their influence, and number two, we can leave it for people who are the experts to talk about that. Because by the way, I am not an expert. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert in nutrition. Do I love to cook and do I love to, you know, eat intuitively and all these things? And I know what's good for me, what's not. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you about all the macros that I ate and why. You know what I mean?
It's so different depending on different people too, of what you need and what your body reacts to.
Right. So I would just say I hope we can leave it for the experts. But there are so many opinions and there's so many things going around the world these days. So bottom line, just do what works for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's
all you can do. And do your best. And do your best. And don't compare yourself to other people online. If someone on Skinny Talk is eating, will not touch a bagel. Okay. Again, what I say earlier, we have one life. Eat the bagel, eat the pasta.
Yeah.
Like obviously no.
I like the 70-30, not 80-20.
Yeah, 70-30. I do 70-30. Yeah. And also let's fuel our bodies with things that are going to make us feel good and have longevity of life, right? Yeah. I always say do cardio because it's going to help your heart health. I'm not going to say do cardio because you're going to lose weight. Yes, scientifically you will lose weight if you are doing cardio and you're in a calorie deficit, of course. But at the same time, if, you know, you're doing cardio because you are trying to, you know, prevent anything to do with your heart,
right?
You know, a heart attack and have a healthy heart, let's do it for that reason. It's like the cardiovascular elements of it.
You don't
your
have to be like a runner. You can walk. You can
totally
just move.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like let's think about the
I have
actual
a dumb question.
Health.
What is calorie deficit?
So when you eat less calories. So basically, you know, if you go to a nutritionist, so for me it's like I usually eat around, you know, 2,300 calories a day.
Yeah.
And if I want to lose weight, I would eat around, you know, I would go into calorie deficit, and it depends how much weight I want to lose and how fast. So if I'm eating 1,500 calories a day or 1,800 calories a day. So to lose weight, you do have to go into that calorie deficit.
Okay, got it. And you talk about realistic fitness. What does that look like for you personally? Is it kind of everything you just said? Like just moving your body, eating 70-30? Like, is that just like basically everything we just said?
It's also knowing that 30-minute workouts can do so much for you.
Yeah.
And 20-minute workouts. I just came out with a program on the Katie Austin app that's 20-minute workouts a day for 20 days. Because I feel like we're so busy. And sometimes when you even think about going to a workout class, driving there and paying a lot of money. And in LA, they're like $32. And, you know, it's sometimes unrealistic for your schedule, right? If you can do a 20-minute workout at home, I just want people to realize what that can do for your life.
Yeah.
And how you can fit it into your lifestyle. Because anyone could do something for 20 minutes and you could just wake up 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah, it's so true. And what 20 minutes can do over time, because I think a lot of people, we all want to see instant results, but really just 20 minutes. And over time, you'll be like, wait, I actually do notice a difference. And like you said, you're driving somewhere, but I always think about it too when I'm in Pilates. I'm like, we're just like listening for a lot of the class too. And then by the time everything's said and done, it's probably like 25 minutes with your breaks that you're taking. So really like you can get a lot in 20 minutes, and it does make a huge difference.
And for me, when I do a 20-minute workout in the morning, I'm a huge believer in a morning workout.
Yeah.
Because it sets up your entire day for success, and then you want to eat healthier, right? If I just, you know, even just if you're doing a 45-minute workout, yes, you want to eat healthier. Do you ever feel that way when you do a 20-minute workout? You just feel like you want to eat a little bit healthier?
Yes. And that's why when I it's the same thing as when I go on trips or vacations. I'm like, I'm going to eat like shit. And then I get on that train of like, well, I already had that, so I'll eat this. And I mean, I already was drinking, so I'll do it. But I get home, and when I get on, like, go work out, I'm like, I want to eat healthy for the whole day. I want to feel good because this feels so good. And then I sleep better.
Exactly. Yeah. And even when you're traveling a lot, I know you travel a lot, I travel a lot. I travel right now every other week. Doing the 20-minute workouts wherever you are keeps you in routine.
Yeah.
So when you get back home, you don't feel like you fully have fallen off track.
Yeah.
It's something so doable. Also, you enjoy your vacation that way. And it's not because you earn your cocktails or earn your food. It's not that. I don't like that at all.
That's
it's
part
just
of the toxic fitness industry, I think, is you got to earn your drinks or you got to earn your food. No. You're doing it to keep yourself on track, mental clarity, energy,
productivity. Oh my God, I'm so much more productive.
Oh, me too. If I wake up and work out, my whole day's changed.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Even if it's 20 minutes, people. Did you realize as a kid how famous your mom was?
Not really, because we lived in Virginia. I grew up in Virginia, and so not really.
No,
But people would come up to her in the grocery store and be like, "You've changed my life."
Aww.
I will never forget one girl coming up to my mom in the airport and being like, "I love you so much because you helped me divorce my husband." And I was like, "That's funny. I really like that."
That's awesome. That's cool because she gave her the confidence to get out. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
So it's bigger than working out, you know?
And wait, was your dad a professional tennis player?
He was, and then now he is an agent in the NBA.
In the NBA.
And I know it, by the way, I said I never had an agent, but he does only sports. So
yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your parents are cool.
So he represents some top athletes. And so everyone doesn't really understand. I call myself America's like biggest bandwagon fan because I will cheer for every single different team possible.
Yeah.
But like athletes get traded all the time. So my whole life I would cheer for one team and then a year later I'd cheer for the other one. Right. Wherever his client is, I'm a fan of that team.
Who are you a fan for right now?
It'll always be, well, not always. I think so. He represents Stephen Curry, so Warriors through and through. And one time, actually, when they won, he got a ring because he had 5 players in the Warriors at once.
Oh my god!
So that was like, I think that was 2017.
Cool.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Because I love sports, and if my dad was an agent, I would be like, "This is awesome."
And also, maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm getting to the point where I want to like not talk about it more, but like go to more NBA games and use it, not use it because he'll retire soon, right? Yeah. And so I'm like, I want to go to more NBA games and experience these things.
Totally.
I've had this really cool thing in my like right here my whole life, and I've never really used it.
You
ever.
haven't?
Not really. No.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ever.
What, does your husband love it?
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
But my dad is really big on never asking anyone for a favor. Like he never will ask a favor. He's a very humble guy. And so I'm like, Dad, can we ask one favor to this guy? Like, come on, please. And he's like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I like that too, though.
He doesn't do it.
Yeah.
He will not do it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What is his name?
My dad's name is Jeff Austin.
Jeff Austin.
Shout out to Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeff. We like you. I always have people at this part of the podcast tell a confession, something embarrassing that you would like to share with, I call it the class, which is my vinos, my listeners.
Yeah, so I got this from your producer beforehand, and I was like thinking about it in the car right over, and I was like, I have a really, really, really embarrassing one.
Great.
But it's kind of TMI.
Great.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's even better.
I'm like, I really hope if my mom or dad are listening to this podcast, you're going to like turn it off right now.
Yeah, okay. Mom and dad. Yep.
By the way, he's my husband now. So actually, we have sex. So I guess it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I guess it's fine now.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. And like whenever I'm starting to tell this, I'm like actually like getting uncomfortable. But basically, I started dating my husband in the pandemic, like height of 2020. We met on a dating app. We met up and we were hanging out for a little while. And I'm like a 2-year-old and I'm 31 years old. Like, get over it. And so we had sex. Yeah. And basically, by the way, shout out to my husband. He would not have sex with me for a while. I tried to have sex with him multiple times and he would not have sex with me.
Really?
Yes. And I was pissed.
Wait, at the
like,
beginning?
have sex with me. Yes. Have sex with me. Have sex with me. And he wouldn't. He's like, I really like you. And I was the one being like, have sex with me. What the hell is going on?
Like,
so finally, he has sex with me.
Oh, no.
And I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah. And
I look him dead in the eyes while he's on top of me. And I said, I love you.
For the first time?
Oh, we've known each other for 2 weeks. Maybe less. 8 days. 8 days been hanging out. 8 days.
God.
I said, I love you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so.
Did you start crying?
He literally stopped. He was like, what the hell? Stopped having sex with me. I said, I love you. Literally the first time we've ever had sex. About 2 minutes into it. By the way, again, can I just preface and say, It was 2020, height of COVID. I hadn't seen a man in quite a long time, like months, right? I hadn't even seen a man in months. Okay, I'm going to be locked in my room.
You did love him. It's your husband now.
Now, thank God.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't say I love you till 7.5 months later. It was like traumatizing.
Oh, stop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so basically I said, I love you. I was like, I'm just going to forget about that. We literally didn't even like finish having sex because it was just so awkward. Anyways, thank goodness we were like around some of my other friends and my guy friends were there. So after everything, like we go out and we still like play beer pong, whatever, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And I mean, small get together COVID.
Yeah.
I think there was 8 people.
Yeah.
And I'm in party in quotes, 8 people. And so we go back out there the next day. I'm like acting really awkward. He leaves. And the next day I'm telling my guy friends and they're like, yeah, he's never going to talk to you again. He will never talk to you again. And I was like actually sad because like I kind of like this guy. And
You're like, I kind of love him, and looked him in the eyes and cried and told him that I loved him during sex.
and I was so embarrassed he left me on red from that Saturday night until Tuesday around 6 p.m. And I've never felt more embarrassed and excruciating pain in my entire life I mean, that feeling of that bad and you actually like him and you said I love you during sex and he hadn't texted you?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a toff, but you bounced back.
And you know what?
What happened? How did you turn it around?
We're married
now.
now.
How did you turn the beat around?
Tell them how you feel. No, I'm kidding. I think I just recognized it. I just made a joke out of it the next time.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty forward person, so I also had some liquid courage in me, and I think I just said something. I'm pretty sure he said that he's never been like FaceTimed, like ever. No one's just FaceTimed him, and I just FaceTimed him.
Yeah, you
and
are
I just
a very
made
upfront
joke.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like made a joke on FaceTime about it and then like brushed it off. And then he was like, okay, cool. Thank God she recognized that. That was insane. If you don't recognize it, like
Self-awareness is hot.
self-awareness, you have to have it.
Yeah.
But that was really embarrassing for me.
That is pretty embarrassing and hilarious, and it's your husband now, so which is really funny. Do you guys laugh about it now? Like, do you ever just like
He, I don't
in the
think
middle
does.
of having sex, do you ever just be like, I love you?
No, I think he's still like terrified of me at all times.
That is so cute. Wait, is he in the fitness world?
No, but he's insane about working out
okay.
and treating his body right. He wakes up at 5:30, does his cold plunges, out the whole 9 yards, the red light therapy, the meditation, the Wim Hof breathing. I mean, he loves
good
it all.
for him.
He loves it all.
Oh shit. Well, that's a good little mix then.
But he's also in finance.
Oh, he's a finance bro.
He's 6'5" in
finance.
finance. Doesn't
Blue
have
eyes.
blue eyes.
Oh.
But he's in finance and he's 6'5".
That's amazing. Aw, I want to meet him.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's really, really great.
What's his name again?
Lane, like a street lane.
It's like when I introduce ramen like a noodle.
Like a dude. Yeah.
I love it. Well, where can people find your app and you on social media?
They can find me on the Katie Austin app for all my workouts. Very accessible, on demand, travel workouts that will go with you anywhere you're at. Hundreds of recipes, easy recipes, categorized to your goals and just, your lifestyle. And then Katie Austin on everything else.
Oh my gosh. Well, congrats on everything. You're a
Thank
badass
you.
and you're such a light.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
love you. Thanks for having me.